take you live now to the headquarters of the ruling National Democratic Congress at Adabraka here in the capital Accra, where the party is taking on the NPP. Well, the NPP has been making wild allegations against the Electoral Commission. Well, the EC has rejected those claims, but the NDC says they deem it fit to comment on these accusations that have been leveled against the Electoral Commission. Let's take you live now to the headquarters of the party, from where my colleague Joseph Akable and the rest of the team join us with this live feed.
The chairperson of the committee, Mrs. Rebecca Kabuke Ajalo, member of the committee. My good self, Johnson Asiedun Ketia, member. Mr. Kwabena Ajepong, MPP, member. Mr. Charles Kwabena Bonfe Jr., CPP, member. Mr. Enim Kofi Addo, Yes People's Party, member, representing all the other minority parties. Dr. Ransford Jampo of IEA, member. Mr. Kwasi Jonah of IDEC, member. Dr. Franklin Odro, CDD Ghana, member. And Mr. Christian Owusu Pare, secretary to the committee. And this was the report we generated. MPP suggesting that all these decisions must form part of the laws that should govern the elections in this country. And yet it is the self-same MPP which is kicking against everything that is contained in this report. After everybody has made preparations based on what recommendations have been accepted by the Electoral Commission. Again, this is a copy of the NPP reform proposals that I spoke about. And this is the covering letter. Headquarters, Private Mailbag, Accra, North Ghana. Fax number 030-227-905. www.newpatrioticparty.org. 21st March 2014. An address to the chairman of the Electoral Commission, Accra. Dear Sir, New Patriotic Party Electoral Reform Proposals. Enclosed, please find the New Patriotic Party's proposals for electoral reform. This follows the call by the Supreme Court judges, the EC itself, and numerous others. The proposal covered 3 thematic areas. 1, pre-election. 2, election day. 3, post-election. We look forward to having further discussions with you, other political parties, and such other interested stakeholders as may be. In view of the impending registration for the District Assembly elections, we ask for an early meeting, as the cleaning of the current register is of importance to all Ghanaians, to ensure that multiple registrations, such as were evidence in court, are removed and the continuing validity of the register assured. Sincerely signed, Jake Otanka Obeche Bilante, National Chairman. This is the cover letter to the main document, which is contained in the following pages. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new patrol. Thank you very much.
I'll take a few questions from you. So, and let's waste our time here. So, please, we're ready for you. No questions.
No, maybe.
Well, we're bringing you a live feed from the headquarters of the ruling National Democratic Congress. Well, they are addressing the media as far as that issue of electronic transmission of results in the upcoming December polls are concerned. Well, they are responding to those claims made by the opposing New Patriotic Party, who are saying that the Electoral Commission is shrouding the process in secrecy, and indeed they did engage in this very act without enough consultation with the relevant stakeholders. We'll be taking you back now to the headquarters of the ruling National Democratic Congress, and indeed you can see there in your shot General Secretary of the party, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, who is addressing the media. And indeed, Johnson Esiedu Nketia is still trying to rectify a few things there. It appears there's a bit of a technical challenge there. Indeed, he's been commenting on a few things, and he's been reiterating the points made earlier by the Electoral Commission, suggesting that the MPP was a part of this very proposal that was made to the Commission to ensure that results are electronically transmitted. So they see it as a bit of a challenge, seeing that the MPP is now coming back to the media with a different stance, suggesting that they do not in any way have any clue as to what the Electoral Commission is doing as far as electronic transmission of voter results are concerned. And in a bit, we'll be taking you back to the headquarters of the ruling National Democratic Congress, and I will be joining that feed once that very technical hitch is worked on. But indeed, this is your Joy News channel. You are watching the live transmission here on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. It's also available on your DSTV channel 421 and your Go TV channel 144. Let's take you back now to the NDC headquarters at Adabraka here in Accra for some more.
The best laws for elections must be established by consensus. So we always work towards consensus first before we send the proposals for the appropriate legislative bodies to take action. So all the decisions that are taken at IPAC, there is no law establishing IPAC. It is a contrivance for securing consensus. And it has served this nation so well that all the reforms that I catalogue were decided by consensus at IPAC. So we, the political parties, have come to believe so much in IPAC, to the extent that MPP, when they were submitting proposals for reforms, they were calling for IPAC decisions to be binding on the Electoral Commission, and it is contained in their submission. So that tells you how binding the IPAC decisions are. Indeed, they are on record to have indicted MPP as a body that is very recalcitrant because they have refused to implement certain IPAC decisions. So the IPAC is there to serve the interests of stakeholders. Electoral Commission by itself does not need IPAC to do their work. It is a system with which we seek to impact upon how they do their work. And so that is how come they have collaborated very well with the party since 1994 to date. It is through IPAC that we changed, as I said, we changed opaque ballot boxes to transparent ballot boxes. We introduced picture-based voter ID card. We did many other things, combined parliamentary and presidential elections and so on. Because the first election in '92 were held separately. Presidential was held in November and parliamentary was held in December. I'm sure those of you who are old at that time heard that NDC called itself November-December champions. So we are not worried at all whether it is in November or it's in December, because we are champions of both months. So you see, so that tells you the persuasive effect. So if we, the political parties, who are accusing Electoral Commission of not implementing decisions that we have agreed upon by consensus. If we tend to go out there to blame Electoral Commission for implementing the decisions we have taken, then, to say the least, we are not being fair at all. So that is the answer to your question. Now, there is no law backing the electronic transmission. In fact, when you are dealing with elections, there are some aspects that are administrative. There are other aspects that are covered by subsidiary legislation, i.e. constitutional instruments and legislative instruments. And yet there are others that are covered by the Constitution. So it is not everything that should be backed by law. Many of the things, like the compilation of results and all other things, many of the things are governed by rules established by the Electoral Commission. And in fact, when we arrived at these decisions, we indicated which of them will need constitutional amendments, which of them should go into, which of them will go into subsidiary legislation, and which of them will just go into the training of their staff and find themselves as rules. So I'm sorry if anybody is saying that a particular thing must be provided for by either the Constitution or subsidiary legislation. He's either misleading the public again, or he doesn't know what it's about. Or both. Then Sandra asks about consensus at IPAC. Yes, when we issue a communique, the communique I cited, it was signed by everybody. So where were the questions he claimed remain unanswered? And why did he sign when his questions had not been answered? So these are signed documents by MPP. So it's just again misleading the public. See, there are some parties who feed on the ignorance of the masses. And they always seek to keep the masses ignorant so that they can continue to exploit them. We are not one of those parties. That is why we always come out with evidence-based presentations. Thank you very much. And we stick by all agreements that we are party to. We will not sign a document and come back and stand somewhere and claim that that document was altered by somebody else. Thank you.
Question? Yeah, sure. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a very simple question.
Yeah.
My name is Samuel Abdullah. I report for Radio Go.
Oh.
Now, we heard already.
Are you still around?
We read and heard about the fact that the vice presidential candidate of the NPP, Dr. Baumia, recently, when the EC opened the verification, had to be verified from his home in Wale. Yesterday, the president was in Kuala Lumpur to verify his name. We've seen former President Kufuor going there himself to verify. But Dr. Baumia alone defied the demarcated routes that the EC had given and then went ahead to verify in his home, to the extent that 2 EC officials have been sacked. What is the NDC's interest in this very particular issue? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other?
Sandra, hold on, just a minute. Anybody? Okay, Sandra, go ahead.
EC has addressed most of the issues that we are hearing today. So I just want to ask, what will you say to critics who say that the NDC is doing the job for the Electoral Commission?
Yes, any other? Shall we take those to be the last questions? Yes.
Identify yourself, please.
Can you do what? From why we are here? Then we will show you the exit. Yeah, any other? We won't entertain digression. If you want to ask questions about what has been said here, you are free to do so. If you want to interview me on something else, come on a date that is different from today. Yeah. Okay, so let's take those questions. Well, Dr. Baumia's verification allegation, as far as we are concerned, remains an allegation at this stage. But we will push for the laws of elections to be applied to everybody equally without fear or favor. So we are leaving the Electoral Commission to do their investigation, and then we will take it from there. Whatever will come out of the investigation, we will pursue it, because we don't know what the verification. If it turns out to be true, then Dr. Baumia would have to answer why he is projecting the NDC to be the party that carries registration kits across the border to register Togolese, to divert people's attention to NDC, and then he will go to influence the same election officials to carry the verification kits to his house. I don't know what happened to the kits in his house, but the important thing is that it is an illegal activity. If it is proven, then the laws must equally apply. Number two, somebody is saying the EC has addressed these issues. I thought I read the list of persons who participated in this meeting for you. What gives the EC the right to respond, and we don't have the right to respond when we are equally participants in the decisions? So again, those who want to silence us by always claiming that we are responding when EC should be responding, they don't know what they are talking about. And we are under every obligation to defend decisions that we participate in. And we will do it with documentary evidence, as we have just done. After this, we will give you copies of some of the documentation. If you have a friend in MPP, approach them and ask them. Unfortunately, you can't ask the dead questions. So I'm not sure Freddie Blue will hold brief for Vigilante. So they will tell you that the water is dead. So yeah. So thank you very much. Yes.
Last one, please.
General, thank you for the opportunity again. This is also election related.
Yeah.
Recently, those who were supposed to have used national health insurance card to register have been deleted.
Yeah.
You were given 10 days to re-register.
Yeah.
At the end of it all, looks like less than half of the people who were deleted had the opportunity or were re-registered.
Yeah.
As a party NDC, do you feel concerned a little bit? And then also from the Ashanti region, the MPP is saying they want to go to court to compare the EC to add more additional days for registration.
Want to use inside the EC for contempt.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You see, that's the problem we have with MPP. If they hadn't asked for the deletion, the names will be there. Everybody's name will be there. You went to ask for deletion, and now you have it. Why are you asking? And the court ruled that they should be given opportunity to register. The court didn't say they should compel them to register. And in our view, the opportunity has been given. It is up to those who are willing to take advantage of the opportunity. Electoral Commission cannot compel them, and the Electoral Commission cannot leave the opportunity there forever. I am sure that the cut-off date will capture those who have registered for the purposes of voting in this election. But beyond that one, they can come to the Electoral Commission offices and register, except that their names will not be on the register which will be used for this election. That is our view about it. Because the court itself did not give a cut-off point. They said they should give them opportunity to re-register. So they will re-register. That opportunity, in our view, has been given, and it is ample. So, but nobody can compel them to re-register. And I am sure MPP did not think through their call very well before making it. Because all the names were there. And you said that some should not be there. So, because that is why they call it bloating. Now, if your argument is that everybody's name must go back to the register, so how are you curing the bloating you complain about? So that is, you see how absurd their actions and utterances are. And if you see people behaving like this, they are preparing themselves to be left behind as the nation moves forward. Thank you very much for your attendance. I'm sure you get copies of.
Well, thank you very much for coming. And, we have copies of the.
So that was indeed, you heard there the General Secretary of the ruling National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esiedun Ketia, in an address to the media there. Well, they've been, I'm speaking of the NDC, they have been making some pronouncements as far as the electronic transmission of results is concerned. And their General Secretary has also been speaking on a few other issues, and those questions were posed to him by journalists. We'll be bringing you some more on this in subsequent bulletins, particularly on our news and news analysis program, The Pulse, which airs at 3 p.m. on your election headquarters, your Joy News channel. We're taking a break here on News Today. When we come back, we'll bring you international news. Stay with us.